Hi, I'm Mallia and I want to show you my garden. So in this bed I have 5 determinate tomatoes. These have got hit pretty bad with blight. I put some landscape cloth down here and I have a water irrigation, but even with all that I still have blight. It's just because it's hot and humid and we have 90% humidity and it's up to like 90 degrees every day. There's one turning right here too. I think I'll have it by the end of the week. In a couple of days we'll have tomatoes, fresh tomatoes to eat. I have okra planted here. The okra is planted very intensive too, but they have beautiful flowers. And here, look at this. They grow like this and they do really great in hot weather. Right now we have basils growing here. These are Thai basils. It smells like cinnamon, cloves, licorice. Here we have dill. I have about 3 plants and they start to flower, but I took the flower off because I'm using these for dill pickles. On this side of the bed is red Malabar spinach. No, there's only 2 plants actually, but they spread like this and they'll go up and vine up. They taste like spinach, but they're not part of the spinach family, and they have kind of a almost kind of like a little slimy texture to it, almost like if you were to eat okra. And right here, this little bitty plant right here is a white amaranth, and it's actually a Chinese amaranth, and so it's supposed to taste kind of like greens too. So the reason why I grew these is because so that we can have greens in the summer. So I have 2 eggplants here. These are called patio baby eggplants, and I have a variety of peppers. They're mostly non-spicy peppers. I think that was a yellow bell pepper, and these are not spicy at all, but they're supposed to be thin-skinned. They look like banana peppers. Maybe they are. Because I do have banana peppers, but I'm really pretty sure it's called Jimmy Nardello because I planted a lot of those. Right here is a marigold. But you see this huge plant right here? This is one plant and it's called the Cherokee Tan Seminole Pumpkin. So it's supposed to be really good eating. They're like little small pumpkins, but they're really good for storage. So especially in this pandemic with the coronavirus, it's good to have long-term storage. Coming on down, this is my son's beautiful red zinnia. If it wasn't for my son, I don't think that I would have put flowers in the garden, but I'm so happy that he actually suggested the flowers, because in this way we have pollinators coming in and we're able to get a lot of fruits. This is a volunteer plant, but you know, it's a butternut squash, and butternut squash can definitely last through the winter. On the end of the garden bed right here, I have a New Hanover ground cherry, but see, it started to have little Chinese, it looks like little Chinese lanterns. But this one is starting to bud, and this is my only in-ground cherry, ground cherry. Oops. I have pink eye purple hull peas, and they look like this. So I'm so excited about these. These are called like southern cow peas. They grow great in the summer, so we have to wait for these to dry out and then we'll harvest it. For some reason, this plant is actually attracting a lot of wasps, and that actually is a hornet. Let me get out of here. So here is my Pattypan squash bed, and the Pattypan squash looks like this. I'll actually harvest this one. It's ready. Pattypan squash has given us so much this season. We have harvested buckets of these pattypans out of these 6 plants. So these were actually ones that I have put in very early in the spring, and they're starting to get like downy mildew. Oh, that's a bumblebee. Downy mildew, but there's also very new growth here. See here? And so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and prune all these older ones and see if we can get more out of the harvest for the in between the beds. I've put in like Donna's little kales here, and I'll come in and get some kales here and there. So this row is bush green beans, and they've grown really well for me. They look like this, and these are momentum beans. I'm gonna do one last harvest and then they're gonna come out. I planted a second crop of green beans. You can see they're starting up again. We've already harvested this green bean already. 2 times actually. This is called the Scarlett Runner Bean. They make really delicious looking pods like this. And when they're young like this, you can definitely eat it like as a green bean. But when they get bigger, you can actually cook it up like a storing bean, like a dry bean. And it's supposed to taste like lima beans. So these are just not pole beans, but I've also interplanted a bitter gourd. And you can see this leaf right here actually is a bitter melon. And these have actually health benefits for diabetes. This way, so half of it is Scarlett Runner beans and half of it is Kentucky Wonder beans. So to Kentucky Wonders, they're flat. They're flat beans like this, and they're real prolific. So this is a little bigger, but this is kind of ideal for what you want. And I have noodle beans too. At the end of the trellis of this last trellis here, I've planted another Cherokee tan pumpkin. On the side here, this is I believe this is a Dr. Witchy or Wychee tomato. And over here is a Kajari melon plant that I have tried so hard over and over again to plant, and I finally have 2 plants. So if you come around here, I have a melon. I'm so excited for this one. This is an Indian melon that tastes like honeydew and cantaloupe. Right here, I believe I put in another small personal watermelon. So the idea for these is that it's going to climb on top of the fence right there, and then it could also go over to the mulch. So over here, and I'm stepping all in it, but here are 2 or 3 plants, all 2 plants of more Armenian white cucumbers, and this one is ready for harvest. There's this one, and we have also like some more down here. There's so many, so prolific. This cucumber is so prolific. Right here I have another variety of cucumber. This is a Hmong cucumber right here, and it's like a white cucumber intermingled with another Armenian cucumber that's ready for harvest. And then in the middle of this is actually 2 long rows. So we have 2 long rows, and I'll show you the back row. We have some tomatoes. This is indeterminate tomatoes. I believe this is a celebrity orange tomato. Intermixed with these yellow pear tomatoes. If you come down here, you'll see the pretty clusters. And I'm so excited about this because I didn't think that my cherry tomatoes made it this year. Coming down this way, there's more cucumbers. These are pickled cucumbers and mixed with more Armenian cucumbers. We're gonna be loaded with this. I've pickled a dozen jars already. See here, these are perfect for pickling whole. This is I believe the Calypso. Over here, I have a personal sized watermelon that is growing. So I have 2 plants here, but this is the only one that made it, that is actually got fertilized. And I interplanted some random pepper plants here, and I hope they make it, but they look kind of sickly. Alright. On this side, there's 2 plants here on the end, and these are the strawberry watermelons. This row right here, I have 2 acorn squash, 2 acorn squash, 2 types. This this is just one row of pumpkin that has just grown tremendously. I have the Cinderella pumpkins over here, and I believe I have a kabocha and also a monk pumpkin. So they've grown just massively. Over there, I can't get to it, but there's a cantaloupe. I believe there's a cantaloupe melon right there in the middle of it, and 2 okras right there, 2 plants that I stuck in towards the end. And here is another Pattypan squash that I put in late in the season, and a zucchini plant that I put in also. Last bed in the garden is the sweet potato, and I believe that's a Covington variety.